You want a meeting room solution that just works, reliable audio, clear video, and a system you don't have to spend the afternoon tweaking every time you schedule a call. You're not interested in a list of specs that sound impressive on paper. You're looking for something you can set up once, leave on the table, and trust to deliver a professional experience day after day. That's the exact place most buyers hesitate. With a bundle like the Logitech Rally Bar plus Tap IP Graphite, it's a big investment. And if it doesn't fit your room or your workflow, you end up with a pricey piece of hardware that gathers dust. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When I started digging into video meeting hardware, I kept running into the same complaints: complicated cabling, a remote that feels like a relic, and a camera that either freezes or struggles in low light. The Rally Bar bundle promises unmatched performance and clarity, and claims it's up to 10x faster than standard marketing speak. Sure, but the real test is whether those claims translate to everyday use in a typical office conference room. I spent a few weeks watching unboxing videos, reading the official setup guide, and scrolling through user forums to see where people hit snags and where they found real value. First off, the hardware itself is a single, all-in-one bar that houses a 4K camera, a speaker array, and a mic array. The idea is simple: one sleek unit replaces a separate webcam, speakerphone, and mic stand. The Tap IP Graphite is a separate touchscreen controller that lives on the table, letting participants join calls, control volume, and manage the camera without needing a laptop. In theory, this reduces clutter and makes the room feel more like a modern boardroom than a tech lab. The real-world setup is where the first hidden trade-off appears. The bar needs to be mounted either on the ceiling or high on the wall, and the tap has to be connected via Ethernet for Power over Ethernet, PoE, and network connectivity. If your office already has a PoE switch, the wiring can be done in a single run, and the whole system powers up with a single click. However, in many older spaces you'll find you need to run a new cable, or install a small PoE injector. That's not a huge hurdle, but it does add a line item to the total cost that isn't reflected in the box price. Once the hardware is up, the day-to-day experience is surprisingly smooth. The Rally Bar's auto-framing algorithm tracks whoever is speaking and adjusts the field of view without you lifting a finger. In a room with a rectangular table, this means the camera pans from one end to the other as the conversation shifts, keeping everyone centered. The mic array picks up voices from across the room, and the built-in speakers are loud enough that remote participants can hear side conversations without shouting. I've seen this in a 10-person room where the speaker moves from the far left to the far right, the audio stayed clear, and the video never cut out. One practical strength that shows up in real meetings is the one-touch join on the tap. Instead of hunting for a meeting link, opening a laptop, or fiddling with a separate conference phone, you simply tap the meeting icon on the screen. The system pulls the link from the calendar integration and launches the call automatically. For teams that schedule dozens of meetings a day, that small reduction in friction adds up. It also means that people who aren't tech-savvy can still run a meeting without needing a facilitator to manage the tech. The downside, though, is that the TAP's interface is intentionally minimal. It works great with Zoom, Microsoft Teams, and Google Meet, but if your organization uses a less common platform, you'll need to fall back to a laptop or a separate controller. Also, the touch screen doesn't have a built-in camera, it's purely a control surface. Some users expect a tablet-style device that shows the remote participants while you control the room, and they find themselves reaching for the laptop anyway. Another hidden cost is the software licensing side. While the hardware itself doesn't lock you into a subscription, the advanced features like AI-powered speaker tracking and automatic room analytics are part of Logitech's premium cloud service. Those services are optional, but if you want to unlock the full 10x faster than standard experience, meaning faster autofocus and lower latency when switching sources, you'll need to pay a monthly fee per room. That's an ongoing expense that can turn a one-time purchase into a recurring budget line. Who should buy this bundle? If you run a medium-sized conference room, about 812 people, that hosts client presentations, board meetings, or hybrid sessions, the Rally Bar Plus tab gives you a clean, professional look and cuts down on the logistical headaches of juggling separate microphones, speakers, and cameras. Companies that have already invested in PO infrastructure will appreciate the streamlined power and network setup, and teams that value quick meeting starts will love the one-touch join. The clarity of the 4K camera and the built-in